Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Tuesday evening? I hope it's going well for you. I am so hungry right now. I did not eat properly throughout the day, and now I am ready to chew this pen up and eat it. Let's see here. Aku says, hi. SG Fanboy says, starting early, unlike some other shows. Well, I want the show to start at 6. So I at my time, 6. Let's just say 7 Eastern. So I want to start 7 Eastern. So at 6:55 Eastern, I start playing my intro song. And that alerts people that are members and things of that nature, subscribers, whatever. Hey, there's a show on. And so that song lasts 4 minutes and 35 seconds. And so then I've done it 25 seconds. And now we're where we are now, kind of. So I do that as a courtesy to you. It don't do nothing for me. Anyway. Joker says, my buddy is cooking kangaroo meat tonight, and he lives in New York. I didn't know they had them upstate. Well, you know, you've got to get your kangaroo meat early in the season. Positive Patriot says, hey, Tom, happy Tuesday, brother. Happy Tuesday to you, Paz. Hungus Mungus, also known as Sven Dunkel, says, evening, guys, evening. Hungus Mungus. Joker Fish says, if you're not early, you're late. Ronald Bateman says, you're welcome, sir. Naples be like that sometimes. 1 minute you're playing some dive bar. Next minute you're on a yacht with the Backstreet Boy and the biggest mountain of blow you've ever seen. All true. Naples was that way. Naples was a lot like Austin used to be. It's you could walk with beggars or kings in that town from 1 second to the next. Randy says, chef in the house, sounds like I need to make you a pizza. Oh, I'd eat me a pizza. I have a couple of pizzas here, but I think this evening I'll be making some burgers and salad. So there we go. I can also say, Ronald, I forget the name of that place. You always remember it. But I went there, I believe, after I got stood up on a date, or some weird date thing happened to me. And I don't even remember how we started talking to each other that night. I really don't. I remember that at some point in time or another, I got some food from there, which was horrible. It was very bad. Or was it very good that time and horrible the next time? I don't remember. But I remember we started talking, and we stayed there pretty late, and your wife showed up, now ex-wife. And I said, I don't know why. I said, why don't we go back to my place and hang out? I don't remember why you guys accepted, to be honest with you. I do remember us being at the condo, though. That I do have a very clear memory of. Hungus Mungus says, I have chicken and salad. Hey, now. That sounds very good. Joker says, I hit the like button. It was fun. Oh, yes. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all those things that are free. Please do those so that we may serve the almighty algorithm. And then also, as well, see at the bottom of the screen right now, it says plus, turn on gifted memberships at youtube.com/@TomGullyShow/allow_gifts. That means that you can get a free membership here if you turn that feature on. People will just give you one. Yeah, they'll just give you one. Or you can super chat here. We are monetized if you're on YouTube. So just go to YouTube and see the little $sign there in the right-hand corner. You click on that, and I'm telling you what, by Billy Gumbo, you can donate money to the show. Your comments will be featured. I will praise you lavishly. The Doctorn says, not going to mention the 2 pounds of crawfish I called lunch. Boy, that sounds good. Hey, here's Iris Charisse, one of my favorite people in the world that I've never actually met in person. Kind of a looker, Brazilian living in Australia, and an extremely talented artist. And she says, hi, Tom. And I say unto you, back right to you, Hello, Iris. It's good to see you as always. When are you coming to the United States, specifically to Dallas, so we can actually meet? Because I'm never going to get a passport at this rate. Ronald J. Bateman says, Ridgeport Pub. The Ridgeport Pub, yes. I remember eating there once and having a very good experience, but I don't know if that was the night or not. Something tells me that night it was good. I can't remember. The Kahuna says, hey, gang. Sven Dunkel has a wave there. That's nice. The Big Kahuna's here. Now it's a party. It is. Now that the Big Kahuna's here. Iris says, nice to see you again. Always nice to see you. I see you sometimes when you don't see me. How about that? Think about that for a second. Because you post things and I see you and you don't see me. Brazilian. She's a looker. I'm telling you. Lyndon says, good day all. Good day to you, Lyndon. Gilman says, hello, Gully. Oh, by the way, tonight I'm going to tell you about the NBC Mystery Movie. Columbo, McCloud, McMillan Wife, Heck Ramsey, and others that you may not know known about. And the history of the whole thing, which is evolved. Hello, Gilman. How are you? Everybody saying hi to Iris. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Jokerfish says, Kahuna, locals only. What? Kahuna says the doctor. We're saying hi to each other because we have the most... Anyway, Ridgeport Pub's food declined when Bob turned it into a nightclub. He only served food because his liquor license dictated it. He had a 5149 license in the main room and 9010 in the smoking bar. Well, I had some barbecued ribs there once that were very good. Kuna says, Joker, aloha, ahi, aloha, I can't pronounce it. Rumple Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, which if you got to be listening to this podcast. You really do. It's an awesome podcast. And Columbo's on. You can find it streaming and in all sorts of places now. So you need to check that out. Banachek was one of my favorite failures. I wouldn't call it a failure. I know it was only on, 2, maybe 3 seasons, but I think 2. I wouldn't call it a failure because, well, we can get into it later, but I might as well talk about it right now. Banachek had George Papard, who was a big movie star. And that was the thing about I'm really starting to do it now, but I'm going to do it. That was the thing about the NBC Mystery Movie, especially the first iteration on Sunday night. You had really big movie stars that had come to television, or in some cases just big TV stars, but mostly big movie stars. And it wasn't like they had a weekly series, right? They were part of a rotating thing. And these were hour and a half episodes. They weren't just an hour and a half. So it was movie feeling, right? And as part of that lineup, I wouldn't say Banachek was a failure. I wouldn't. I think also George Papard I don't know how crazy he was about doing TV at that time in his life. We'll get to it. By the way, the background, you may be saying, what's the deal with the background? This is the opening of the NBC Mystery Movie. Hold on, let me get out of the way so you can see the guy with the flashlight. Don't worry, I'm going to play the opening. I'm going to play the opening for you. Iris Charisse says, I feel honored knowing that you check out my post on Facebook. Many thanks for that. Well, they just show up in my feed. It's not like I'm stalking you. Not that I wouldn't stalk you, because you are stalk worthy. Anyway, Akumugan says, I was talking about where you used to smoke with my old man. Hard to imagine smoking in grocery stores or that Plains had a smoking area. Yeah. The Night Stalker was super fun. We could do a show on the Night Stalker. I think the Night Stalker has a pretty big following. I know they have a very active Facebook group, the Night Stalker. Toby McGrovey says, Ronald J. Bateman assembled. Kahuna. Okay. All right. I better open up my thing. You know what? Before I open up my thing, why don't I show you all the beginning of the NBC Mystery Movie. The opening, like, title credits and stuff. Hold on here. Don't do an ad.
Overnight success.
Yeah, and they do an ad. Okay, Bank of Texas, I will never do business with you. I hate you now forever. Sorry. Just had to say that. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do the opening of the NBC Mystery Movie, but first I have to make sure that I make myself teeny tiny, like Vince the lawyer, and then I have to share my screen. A lot of technical things to deal with here. You guys think it's just fun and games? It's all fun and games at the old Tom Gully show. All right, here is the opening of the NBC Mystery Movie. Here we go. Every week, right? And that's the way it began. But I love that ooh wee. I can't make that, and I can make that noise with my face and my body and my connect-a-gazoid with my thingamajig. I can't. And then you got the whole orchestral dun 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 dun. Oh God! And my family on Sunday nights. Okay, my mom. We had 6 kids, 2 adults, 8 people. My mom would make a giant amount of popcorn, like a huge 2 paper grocery bags full, right? And we had all these plastic, empty, big margarine bowls that we used for popcorn bowls because, big family, buying a lot of margarine, whatever. So you'd scoop that up, and it was really pretty briny. My mom made some pretty salty popcorn. And then we normally had Panther Red or Big Red, some sort of soda or some Kool-Aid. But that was kept you didn't bring that into the TV room. And my mom would put down a giant sheet on the floor. We'd all sit on it with our popcorn and ooh-wee, dun, 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 and we'd wait. Because even though it was probably in TV Guide, we weren't big readers of TV Guide. We didn't even get TV Guide. We just had the Sunday supplement TV listings. And those might not have had who was actually going to be on the NBC Mystery Movie, which in the second season became the NBC Sunday Mystery Movie because they established another one on Wednesday. But and then it would say, tonight, Rock Hudson and McMillan, or tonight, Peter Falk and Columbo. And when they said Peter Falk and Columbo, we all went, yay, it's a going. And when they said Dennis Weaver as McCloud, we'd all go, yay, because we liked both of those. And we didn't hate McMillan and Wife. We liked it a lot, but we didn't like it as much as the other two. Anyway, so let me see. Well, I got it. I was going to open my thing. Got to open my thing. Guys, I got to open my thing and start talking about this. I didn't want to do that. Okay, I got to open my thing here. This is going to be so much fun, really. I'm glad Rumpled Trenchcoat is here so that someone can share my sickness. Yeah, someone can. I won't feel like the only nerd in the room. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, there we go. This actually goes back quite a while, and it involves other shows, okay? And it involves other shows I really liked and that I remember. Okay? And I wish they did this more often now. I wish they would have sort of what they in the past called an anthology series, where you have a show that's got a loose concept. In the case of the NBC Mystery Movie, mysteries, right? And then there's a bunch of shows that fall under that umbrella that rotate. All right. So the origin of what they called the wheel, that rotation, the wheel format, was an agreement between NBC Television and Universal Studios back in 1966. And NBC ordered multi-years of dramatic anthology productions from Universal that NBC would broadcast in the United States, first run and reruns. Reruns used to be a big deal. Now we call them on demand, but reruns just meant the same show was showing again, usually in the summer. And Universal would get to show these overseas. NBC would have the rights in the United States. And the first series that they created that was like a wheel series, and I loved this. I love this series. I mean, I really like this series, was called The Name of the Game. And you can see it sometimes on some of the over-the-air broadcast channels like MeTV, Antenna TV. And it was an anthology, and it had 3 different stars: Tony Franciosa, Gene Barry, and Robert Stack. You guys might remember Robert Stack from the movie Airplane or Unsolved Mysteries. But it was based on a TV movie called Fame is the name of the game. But Tony Franciosa was, where's this thing here? All right, here. Tony Franciosa was a guy named Jeff Dillon. And his little anthology part was like these current affairs stories that were like industrial espionage to medical fraud. And his was real, sort of with the times and things that were happening right that minute. Gene Barry, who was Bat Masterson, and who else did he play? He played other people on TV. He played a guy named Glenn Howard, and he was a cool, self-made businessman who cut an elegant, impeccable Playboy millionaire figure, and similar to his character on Burke's Law. Basically on Burke's Law, he was a millionaire that became police chief. Very cool show. Anyway, his stories involve big business or political intrigues, the things that involved powerful, rich people, because he was a powerful, rich person. And then Robert Stack, he was this sort of like Elliot Ness. He was an ex-FBI investigator, and he was righteous and had a sense of justice. And so those 3 all hooked up on The Name of the Game. Now, The Bold Ones was the next one, and it was kind of the same deal. The Bold Ones was the new doctors, the new lawyers. Basically, it was doctors and lawyers and prosecutors and politicians. They were the bold ones. They had E.G. Marshall and Hal Holbrook. Had really good actors, but it just wasn't, And then there was one called 4 in 1. Okay? And the only kind of thing that was, interesting about 4 in 1 is that it sort of was the beginning, all right, of 2 shows. McCloud actually started on 4 in 1, and it was popular enough that they added it to the NBC Mystery Movie a year or 2 later. And Night Gallery, the Rod Serling show, kind of a more horror and macabre version of The Twilight Zone, it got picked up as a standalone series. That's the only important thing there. But then they struck gold. Then they struck gold. because that's when they came up with the NBC Mystery Movie. And it started off in the 1971-1972 season with McCloud as Dennis Weaver from rural Taos, New Mexico, temporarily assigned to New York City Police Department. McCloud! The guy always yelling from his office, McCloud! They had that love-hate relationship, him and the lieutenant. And he had Diana Muldaur, who was smoking hot back in that time period. And that was his girlfriend, Chris. Chris, why don't you just go back to tacos? I told you, Chris, it's Taos. Tacos and that's little carne asada tortilla there. Anyway, so you had McCloud, and then you had Columbo, which, Rumpled Trenchcoat can tell you about all the popularity of Columbo. I mean, Columbo went until Peter Falk died from 1971. People in the United States, people overseas, there's a statue of Columbo in Budapest, Hungary, okay? People everywhere love Columbo because he's just that friendly, gonna find it, and smart as a whip. I mean, anyway, people are playing him, and then they think they're playing him because while they think they're playing him, Columbo's actually playing them. But I love it when Columbo says, actually, sure, I knew you were the murderer right off. I mean, it's like, what? I thought it was when you found the bullet imprint and the thing behind the wall and the... no, actually. Anyway, so you had Columbo. And that series was begun with a made-for-TV movie called Prescription Murder that starred Peter Falk. By the way, that trench coat that's actually Peter Falk's trench coat. The original one, anyway. I'm sure they had other ones, but that was his beat-up old trench coat. So, and then a couple of others got added later on. But you see in this picture I'm showing you, the guy in the cowboy hat. That is Richard Boone, famous for Have Gun Will Travel on television. And many movie roles. He was in Big Jake and a lot of other things. And he played Heck Ramsey. And Heck Ramsey was like an old school gunfighter that was getting older. Still pretty much of a badass. But it was getting close to the turn of the century, and he was learning all about forensic science, about fingerprints and microscopes and things like that. So he was this combination of an old school gunfighter and, forensic science. A lot of people in sort of the Timothy Oliphant universe style of thinking believe that Heck Ramsey was really Paladin that had gotten much older. I'm just saying. And then you had Rock Hudson there in McMillan and Wife, which was, a husband and wife crime-fighting duo. Rock Hudson was a hip, cool San Francisco police commissioner, and Susan St. James was his Budinsky, always trying to help and actually pretty good at it, wife. So people loved these. They absolutely love them. And the umbrella format was a huge success. The show finished 14th in the Nielsen ratings his very first year. And Columbo was nominated for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 Emmy Awards, and it won in 4 categories. And so that success prompted NBC to move the series to the toughest time slot on TV at the time. Remember, there was only 3 networks, well, 4 if you count PBS, only 3 networks really, and the toughest time period was Sunday night, which Bonanza had owned forever. And NBC moved this show to 8:30 to 10 Sunday evening as the NBC Sunday Mystery Movie. That's when Heck Ramsey was added. And because of that success, all right, NBC decided we need another one of these. Let's have one on Wednesday as well. And that's when Banachek was established. Now, Banachek was a freelance Polish-American insurance investigator in Boston. Okay, so it only lasted 2 seasons, but I loved Banachek, and I have both seasons on DVD. Banachek was a guy that was an insurance investigator. So someone would say, we had some diamonds stolen, and they're worth $15 million. And he'll say, for 10%, I will find those diamonds. He was always making huge sums of money, and he was very smart about the way that he did it. But he had all these Polish proverbs. He was just, here's some of the proverbs on Banachek. An old Polish proverb says, a wolf that takes a peasant to supper probably won't need any breakfast. If you're not sure it's potato borscht, there could be orphans working in the mines. Some of these made no sense. When an owl comes to a mouse picnic, it's not there for the sack races. Though the hippopotamus has no sting in its tail, a wise man would prefer to be sat upon by the bee. He also had, there's these weird, what does it mean, boss? Ralph Manza, the chauffeur that Banachek had, would always go, what does it mean, boss? So anyway. And by the way, Banachek had a deal with his chauffeur that he got 10% of Banachek's 10%. So if it was $100,000, Banachek was going to make $10,000. That meant the chauffeur would make $1,000. And the chauffeur always had a lot of solutions. Here's what I think happened. And Banachek would just immediately lay to waste his idea. There's a sort of effete seller of rare books that Banachek had that would look things up for him and do things. And there were a cast of other characters. And anyway, we probably spent too much time on Banachek, but I love Banachek, so it doesn't matter. So the very beginning, NBC Wednesday Mystery Movie was a show called Banachek, Cool Million, and Madigan. Madigan was a little bit of a thing because Richard Widmark had played that character in a movie in 1968, and they decided to do a series. Cool Million was another one about a former CIA agent starring James Ferrantino. But during the second season, the programs rotating on Sunday remained the same. On Wednesday, Cool Million and Madigan were canceled. So Banachek rotated with 3 new series. One was called Faraday and Company, which is about an LA private detective. And another one was called The Snoop Sisters, which were 2 very old ladies, Helen Hayes, a legendary American actress, and Mildred Natwick, as 2 elderly sisters who routinely found mysteries that they solved. It's very much what you might think. They're, sisters that are old and spinsterly, finding out mysteries and solving them. But the next one is actually kind of an important show in the history of American television, and it's called Tenafly. And Tenafly was the first primetime program to star an African-American man as the lead, and it was an actor named James McKeachin. And I interviewed James McKeachin on my podcast on the Tom Gully Show. He's a wonderful guy, just an absolutely great guy. So let me show you some other pictures here so we don't get too bored. This is McCloud. I think this is the opening of one of the first movies. McCloud uses a lot of the same process shots for all the episodes. You'll see the same, like this shot of New York and stuff many times over. And I already told you about McMillan and Wife, right? Sure, I did. There's a title card for McMillan Wife. Let's just leave Columbo up here for a while. He's with a famous actor and voice talent, an incredible voice talent named Richard Kiley. And I forget the name of this episode. Rumpel would know. And Rumpel is very correct. He says Snoop Sisters was basically the precursor to Murder, She Wrote. Kind of was. Really kind of was. Anyway, let's get back to the history of this whole thing, because later on, the Wednesday series rotated with some changes every year. And these other changes, some caught on, some didn't. One was a very interesting show called Amy Prentice that starred Jessica Walter, who some of you may remember as the voice of Mallory Archer. But I believe she won an Academy Award, maybe Best Supporting. Very, very gifted actress. And she was the first female chief of detectives in San Francisco. And it was a spinoff of another popular show called Ironside. Now, McCoy was a show starring Tony Curtis as a professional con man or thief that, sort of solved mysteries and did things to help people. Another one was called Lanigan's Rabbi, which is really one of the strangest TV shows I think I've ever heard of. It was about a small-town police chief, Art Carney, big favorite of mine, Mr. Art Carney, and his best friend, who happened to be a rabbi and an amateur detective. And it was based on a popular book series, but good Lord, it did not do well. And then another show that continued on. And that show was Quincy, Medical Examiner. So a 2-hour pilot of Ellery Queen in the Sunday time slot of the Mystery Movie also resulted in that being promoted as an NBC Mystery Movie special. And the Ellery Queen series then started after that. All of the Wheel series, of all of them, of all these shows I just mentioned to you, only the original 3, Columbo, McCloud, and McMillan Wife, survived for the entire run of the Mystery Movie. Some of the others, most of them probably, were very short-lived, and with the exception of Heck Ramsey and Banachek, they were all on the air for only one season. Quincy ME was moved... it was the next to the last Mystery Movie series to premiere, and it outlasted the Mystery Movie series. The Mystery Movie ended, and Quincy was so popular, they just kept doing it. And Quincy was out of the Wheel lineup midway through that and retooled into a 1-hour weekly series that ran 6 more years, which is really a pretty good run. Although the Mystery Movie series was canceled at the end of the 76-77 season, NBC kept Columbo in production, a 7th season consisting of 5 movies. And after the 5th movie, NBC said goodbye to Columbo as well. As I mentioned, the opening consisted of that shadowed figure carrying a flashlight, slowly walking forward toward the camera on the desert landscape. And I got to tell you, the reason we all love that movie is that music was that's all, folks. Sorry, folks. I sometimes can't talk that well. It was composed by Henry Mancini, a legendary composer. He's 4 Academy Awards, Golden Globes, 20 Grammys. Come on. It's Henry Mancini, baby. And so after the series, Universal and ABC tried to, rekindle the flame with the ABC Monday Mystery Movie. And they brought back Columbo in 1989 to be part of that wheel. And Peter Falk returned for it. And 2 other series joined. One was called Gideon Oliver, starred Louis Gossett Jr. as a crime-solving anthropologist. And another one was B.L. Stryker, which featured Burt Reynolds as a South Florida private eye. It was going to be on Saturdays, but they moved it to Mondays, and, Columbo and B.L. Stryker continued for the 2nd season on Saturdays, along with a new show called Christine Cromwell, starring Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels. But it was a pretty irregular schedule for the ABC Saturday Mystery Movie, and they ended it, but they did keep Columbo in production, and Peter Falk, starred in an additional 14 episodes before the network discontinued the whole thing in 2003. Now, Universal brought McCloud back for a reunion movie in 1989. It was called The Return of Sam McCloud, and it featured Dennis Weaver in the role of United States Senator Sam McCloud, and that aired on CBS. So eventually, all three major networks aired some form or fashion of the mystery movie. And there you go. Now, in 1993, in the fall, NBC tried to revive the wheel. And they wanted to do the NBC Friday night mystery movie. I'm going to give you guys another picture to look at here, by the way. Let's just look at that. You'd see stuff like that in the paper all the time. And they tried to rerun the Sunday mystery movie on Tuesdays to get more ratings. That's what we did. That's what we watched back then, folks. Here's to you. Dr. Pepper and cream soda is so good. Zero. There was a show called McShane. It's Kenny Rogers as a gambler turned house detective to pay his debts. Staying afloat with Larry Hagman, former millionaire, becomes a jet-setting government operative. Janik, which was Richard Crenna as a NYC police detective. The Cosby Mysteries. There's 2 television movies starring Bill Cosby about a guy trying to track down who drugged these women. And then, no, not really. It was just a detective series. The continuing Perry Mason movies that NBC was already doing with Raymond Burr. Okay. And a show called Ray Alexander, once again with Lou Gossett Jr., who was a detective restaurant owner. Yeah. Now, the Friday night mystery movie did have one show that did very well. And that was a show called Heart to Heart. Anybody remember that one? Huh? Robert Wagner, Stephanie Powers. This is my boss, Jonathan Hart. He's a self-made millionaire. Quite a guy. This is Mrs. H. She's gorgeous. She's one lady that knows how to take care of herself. By the way, my name is Max. I take care of both of them, which ain't easy, 'cause when they met, it was murder. Na, 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 na. I almost feel like playing that opening. How much time I got here? Should I play that opening? Let's see if I can play that opening. Let me see if I can do that with this Too Hard opening. It's just so good. I'll just put this in there. That's what you're going to do. Sorry, they tried to give me more than just the opening sequence. Season 3 will have the good version. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to do the sound. Okay, Shout Factory. This will be good. You guys will enjoy this. Oh, Heart to Heart, now available on DVD. Lionel Stander. Lionel Stander, that guy, was blacklisted during the 50s for communism. But he made a very strong comeback in the late 80s. Let's see here. In popular culture, the Friday Night Mystery Movie, the cast of Mystery Science Theater 3000 would often make the reoccurring joke, "It's the NBC Mystery Movie," whenever a character in a movie shone a flashlight, like the opening of the NBC Mystery Movie. Eventually, at the beginning of the episode, Teenagers from Outer Space, Joel has the robots in electrical shock therapy to try and break them out of that habit. But they do it awful. Like anytime somebody's got a flashlight in a movie and it's dark out, it's the NBC Mystery Movie. In a 2008 episode of The Simpsons, Dial N for Nerder, it ended with a reference to the NBC Mystery Movie opening sequence featuring Nelson Muntz as Columbo, Dr. Hibbert as Quincy, Rich Texan as McCloud, and Mr. Burns and Smithers as McMillan and Wife. In an episode of the cartoon King of the Hill, Hank Hill refers to Hick Ramsey as an underappreciated part of the NBC Mystery Wheel. Which he's right. I'm sorry, he's right. In 1972-73, the NBC Sunday Mystery Movie was the 6th ranked television program on TV. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Yeah. All right, let's get to your comments. I might open the phone lines here. Where's my phone line opener thingy? Okay, what do we got? 20 minutes? Is there a show on after this one? And no, don't fake me out. Like they faked me out yesterday. In the morning, I heard Shuley say, "We're gonna do it at 8." Well, 8 Eastern is 7 Central. So I got out of yesterday's show bingo jingo, so that I wouldn't. And then it turns out they didn't go on until 9. Those guys, man, pull it together, fellas. You're losing your heads, fellas. You're losing your heads. For the love of Mike, there's an Uncle Rico at 8 tonight for real. Yes. I think we ought to have a Dabbleverse mystery movie theater. Hey, by the way, you guys, I'm thinking about doing a members only program this weekend, if I can figure out how to make it happen. If I can find something that we can all watch, like a watch party, something that's public domain that I'm not going to get in trouble for showing, but I haven't figured out what that is yet. I'm going to scour around on the Internet Archive, because there are certain movies and things that are older than 1923 that can be shown. So I will figure something out, but I think I would like to do a members only something. I'm just going to put this because Iris is saying it, and I think Iris is pretty awesome. Growing up in Brazil, I didn't have the opportunity to enjoy all these shows, but Heart to Heart was huge success there. Nowadays, I search for good American series on the internet. Well, you can watch all of those shows. They're streaming on Hulu and Roku TV. And here's my sister, the senior lecturer in psychology. That's what makes me laugh when Vince the lawyer wants to tell us all about psychology. I'm like, no, I know somebody that does that, and you're not one of them. Let me see here. Gosh, I got a lot of chats to go through, and only 18 minutes to do it in. Oh, yeah. Aku is playing with 20-ish-year-old airbags. Let's see how much this Chev hates me. Aku, you might want to rethink the wording of that first sentence, lest someone think you're feeling up a college student. Hungus Mungus says, I had chicken and salad. Oh, I already covered that. I hit the like button. I'm not going to mention the 2 pounds of crawfish. Big kahunas here now. It's a party. Nice to see you again. The history of... Okay, so Banachek was one of my favorite failures. I didn't think it was a failure. I just think, 2 seasons, whatever. Iris Cherie says, I feel honored knowing that you could chat. Well, you should feel honored. I feel honored knowing you're honored. Man, where did I stop with this nonsense? Night soccer was great fun, yes. Man, that brings me back. Na. Terry Nee says, when it was a simpler time, like leaded paint and gas. Yes, and leaded toys and leaded cereal. Anyway. Iris says, I love mystery movies and series. My father introduced them to me along with horror movies when I was very young. They're awesome, aren't they? Rumple Trenchcoat says, woot. Doc Torn says, Tom, don't forget to open the thing. Yeah, I did. I opened the thing. Diana O'Brien's here in the room. I'm wondering if Columbo or McCloud or McMillan Wife or any of the other NBC Sunday mystery movies made their way across the pond. I'm wondering. Open it. Diana, welcome back. Most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. Rumple Trenchcoat says, Gene Barry was also the murderer in Prescription Murder. The first, yes, the Columbo pilot movie. I do remember that. Is that the one, what's the one where the murder happens in a weightlifting? Can't remember which one that one was, but yes, Gene Barry. Gene Barry was just a great actor. He was just awesome. Thanks, Toby. Night Gallery was great. It really was. There, what was it? The Devil Will Not Be Mocked. One of my favorite Night Gallery, and the thing about Night Gallery was it wasn't a whole episode. A Night Gallery episode could have 3 stories in it. And one of my favorite, and I'm not going to explain the plot whatsoever at all. And if you want to go find this, go find it and watch it. It's a Night Gallery. It's called The Devil Will Not Be Mocked. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. Rumple Trenchcoat, McCloud. They always used to do that on Mystery Science as well. McCloud. What's Columbo? It's Francisco Columbo, well-known heavyweight lifter in Mr. Universe of the 70s. Yes, his whole wardrobe, his suit, his tie, everything was his. Yeah, Rumple Trenchcoat. Glad you're here, buddy. I'm glad you're here all the time, but especially to back me up. And I think he's the one that recommended the Garcia Vega cigars, too. He needed to have kind of a not cheap, but not good cigar. So yes, Peter Falk's entire wardrobe was his. Suit, tie, everything. Rumple Trenchcoat, was Falk the first choice to play Columbo? Oh, that's a good question, Joker. Rumple Trenchcoat says, yes. Falk approached the studio run writers. He said, I'd kill to play that cop. By the way, if you want to see a great movie, it's a little off the subject, but see The In-Laws with Alan Arkin and Peter Falk. And if you can possibly manage it, get the DVD or Blu-ray version like I have, where they have Peter Falk, Alan Arkin, the writer and the director, all doing DVD commentary. It's just priceless. Hughes says Richard Boone played a good bad guy in Big Jake. He did. And he was a bad good guy in Have Gun Will Travel. My sister, she said, hi, Tom, could not miss a Columbo mention. I did not realize my sister was into Columbo, but I didn't realize my sister was into all sorts of, like one time when I was talking about the movie Kingdom of the Spiders, and she starts spouting off, yeah, they froze some of the spiders, they did this, they did that. Then I'm like, wow, she's into some stuff over there. And she just won a big award at Ball State, too, by the way. Big award for a side sort of project that I think it's called a Prism Award or something like that. I don't know. She does things like that. Rumple Trenchcoat says, I had that turtleneck checked blazer outfit too. The Banachek outfit. Joker says, thank you, Rumple Trenchcoat. I couldn't picture another actor. I didn't know he had input in the show. I'm subbing to your channel. Everybody sub to Rumple Trenchcoat's channel. Please. Rumple Trenchcoat says, thank you, Jokerfish. Most cheerful chat room, I'm telling you, on the whole internet. SG Fanboy says, I love Kevin Pollak's story about Peter Falk. Pollak did an impression of Falk for years, and they met once. During the conversation, Falk how do you do that thing with your eye? I've seen that interview, SG. It's really awesome. I see two-starred things here. Wow. I'll get to those. Well, I'll just do them right now. Rumple Trenchcoat gifted 5 Tom Gully Show memberships to my sister, and everybody else right now at the bottom of the screen. Look where it says turn on gifted memberships at youtube.com/@TomGullyShow/allow_gifts. If you turn those on, then you're going to get a free membership from our good friend and Columbo expert non-parallel, Rumple Trenchcoat. There we go. Gilman has generously donated $5. Said, I've been on vacation and missed you guys. I never want to fly again. Columbo is the best. Just one more thing. If anyone else would like to super chat, just one more thing. Before I go, my boss, he likes to tie up all the loose ends. I was wondering about what happened to that statue. Anyway. Oh, did I lose my spot? Please tell me I didn't lose my spot. Oh, God. No, wait, hold on. I think I found it. Okay, Snoop Sisters was basically the precursor to Murder, She Wrote. Terry, Jokerfish, Richard Kiley looks very suspicious. He is, isn't he? He's a little hinky. Looks a little hinky. Oh, I've only got 10 minutes left. Toby McGrovey says, which episode or date of the show was that interview, Tom? Maybe I'll be able to find it by the title myself, but just in case, what interview? I don't know what interview you're talking about. So, Normal Trenchcoat says, another great episode, A Friend Indeed. This is my underwear. This is my nephew. Ellery Cream was great and also made by Levinson and Link, says Rumple Trenchcoat. Jokerfish says, that rabbi detective turns out was Shuley. Boom! It's a relative of Shuley's, yes. Diana Bryan says, all of our adults back in the day loved these detective series. Excellent, Diana. Thank you so much. I often wonder how much of our programming over there, I know Dallas was big over there and some other things, but Quincy hated punk rockers. Is there anything better than the punk rock episode of Quincy when he goes onto the stage? There's a friend of yours. She's named, we think she's been hurt. And they're throwing things and all that stuff. It's great. William Forsythe is in that one. It's really good. Rumple Trenchcoat says, darn scapegoats. Lori Dancer is here. She said, I was just discussing Banachek and his cockatoo. I may be thinking of Beretta? Don't go to bed with no prize on your head. No. Don't do it. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. No, don't do it. But keep your eye on the sparrow. Sammy Davis Jr. sung that one. It's a great song if you just want to listen to a good song. Diana Bryan said, Quincy lasted many rerun years in the UK. It was lasted over here forever, too. Lori Dancer says, brought Peter Falk back for one last question. I just have one. Let's see. My sister Kelly, Peter Falk's wife appears in several episodes of Columbo. You mean Mrs. Columbo or Peter Falk's wife? Probably both. Mrs. Falk is from hometown of Ossining, New York. I did not know that, Lori Dancer. Lori Dancer says, heart to heart. Oh, heck yeah, that gravelly voice chauffeur Max. Yes, because when they met, it was murder. Na, 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 na. Heart to Heart had a dog. Yeah, Max was the dog. No, the dog's name was Freeway. Max, did you drop a cigar in here or did Freeway have an accident? Boom, psh. Freeway was the name of the dog. Lori Dancer says, Max impression, excellent. Play it. Damn, that impression was close. Occasionally. Occasionally, kids. Occasionally, the old boomer comes up. Ooh, I'm wearing my Stroke 9 shirt. I love this shirt. Hips me up quite a bit. I went to the concert, so, what do you... MST3K, yes, Lori.
Rumble Trenchcoat says Hank Hill is right. I agree, Bobby. That Rumple Trenchcoat is onto something over there.
I can work on it. It's not perfect. I can work on it. Iris says, growing up, I already covered that. John Ziermite says, I watched MST3K constantly between Dabbleverse programming. My two favorite episodes of MST3K, and I needed these. I was living in Springfield, Missouri on Thanksgiving. I had nowhere to go, no family, all by myself. And they had the Turkey Day Marathon, and I recorded it, whole thing. And my two favorite episodes are Daddy-O and Side Hackers. There. Hike, 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 hike your pants up. Hike, 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 hike your pants up. Rico at 8. Okay, well, I'm going to be out of here in 5 minutes, 45 seconds. 9 p.m. There's an Uncle Rico at 8 tonight, for real. 8 Eastern. Okay. He did say 8. It messed me up, too. See, those guys they just say anything. Lori Dancer says, laugh in on Tubi binge. Hey, Lori, you and me are kindred spirits. I've been watching Laugh In a lot, too. Why are they changing their podcast time so often lately? They got, people in flux. There's a lot of things to keep, say there's a lot of, I don't know. You have to ask them. One of my coworkers called during the Time of Gully show. Of course, he's going to get a rec warrant tomorrow. That's funny, Randy. Ronald J. Bateman says, Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Was it 68 or 69? I can't remember. One of the two. Laurie Dancer loved the Brit Detective series on Acorn and BritBox. Yeah, I do too. I like a lot of them, but one of my favorites is New Tricks. Psychology makes me shrink. Terry Nee. I like you, Terry. John Daggy says, enjoying the memories. My phone lines are open at 972-994-6822. Daggone it. I wish I'd have known that sooner. John Daggy, it was witness to my soccer playing prowess in college. And one day, we will have him on this program to talk about that. But it can't be today. I'm actually have to close the phone lines because I won't have time to get to all these comments. Although, John, if you'd like to contribute, if you hit the little $sign. No, I'm kidding. Come on, I pulled us out of the fire once or twice. If you want to hit the little $sign, we are monetized now. Yeah. All right. John Ziermites, I second Night of the Living Dead. Oh, Night of the Living Dead. You want to do a watch party for Night of the Living Dead? We can maybe do that. But have they since gotten that out of public domain? I don't know. I'll check. Can I join? Never mind. Let's see. I loved Kojak. Was really good. The first Kojak was called the Something Murders. I forget what it was, but Kojak's excellent. What instrument made the sound in the theme music? Rumpled Trenchcoat? You're gonna have to handle that one. I don't know. I don't know what made the doo. And it could have been a theremin. Of course, Diana Columbo went to England and worked with Scotland Yard. Well, of course. Even Clint Eastwood did that. Rumpled Trenchcoat says Columbo. Oh, no, McCloud went to overseas and worked with the French police and the British police. Rumpled Trenchcoat says they had Robert Conrad as Jack LaLanne type killer. An Exercise in Fatality. You are exactly right, Rumpled Trenchcoat. Can't put one past him. Monk had a weightlifting. Monk is a great show. That's what you guys wonder why I sometimes say it's a gift and a curse. It's because of Monk. He says that all the time. Ronald Bateman says, I'm going to have to watch Night Gallery again tonight. Such a great series. Very good series. The Devil Will Not Be Mocked. Watch that one. The Doctrine says, it's me. I'm the independent sources that verified this chat is the best. Thanks, Doctor. My sister Kelly, says that one Snyder from One Day at a Time, Columbo at Health Club, but Julie Newmar was on an episode where a guy died after exercising. Hey, man, you died too after exercising around Julie Newmar. You know what I'm saying? And I know Julie Newmar. We're tight. We're good buddies. Rumpled Trenchcoat says The In-Laws is one of my favorite movies as a kid. It's still one of my favorites. I could watch it right now. The In-Laws is one of my favorite movies. It is so good. One of my coworkers called during the Tom Gully show. He's going to get written up, says Randy. He's going to get written up. Don Daggy says, Ball State! There's the ring. Kiss the ring. My sister says, thank you for the mention. Happy to be here. Happy you are here, JC. I'm happy to be here too. Terry Nee says, Out of Towners, hilarious. The Misses in my favorite. That's another great one. Terry Nee says, BF. I don't know what that means. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, it's the little things. It's the little things. They bother me. I just can't. Let me see here. Jenna was finally gifted. Yes, Jenna has been gifted. Trevor Garner's here. Sorry, I'm just hoping someone would bring the room down. Toby McGrope, are you still on the sauce, Trevor? Are you back on the sauce? It seems to me like you're getting back on the sauce. Hey, Trevor, your show was supposed to It's down near the comments, John Daggy. The little dollar sign is down near the comments where you post. It's a comment thing on YouTube. You interviewed the first black actor to lead a series. I'll find it, I'm sure. Oh, his name is James McEachin. McEachin. Look that up, and then you'll find him. Yes, Beretta. Sorry, I got all excited about Banachek. Yeah, well, the cockatoo does that to people. It's my other sister, my sister. My two sisters are twins to each other. How about that? I'm going to run a little over today because they're going to just play songs for half an hour. Kim Warfield says Max was in a lot of movies and TV shows. Max was all over television in the movies in the 30s and the 40s, and then he got blacklisted. And then he came back later and was in everything again. Pretty good, Hank Hill. You got something there. Well, I tried. The Wolf says, I prefer to butcher my own films. Say goodnight, Gracie. Goodnight, Gracie. McAvoy Productions from over there, and I believe the County Cork says, hello, Tom, and everyone in chat. Hello there, McAvoy. Toby McGrovey says, the Caveman movie, MST3 KBS, puts me to sleep every time. Gilman says, who remembers taking popcorn in a brown paper bag to the drive-in? Me, I do. The grease stains on it and everything. McAvoy, hello. Back to Space 1999. Boy, you could make fun of Space 1999 for a long time. Terry Nee said, new tricks started great, but faded into a soap opera, as they all do. It did kind of, the wheels come off the wagon. Joker says, yes, Night of the Living Dead party. Well, I will take that under advisement. Night of the Living Dead, I believe, is in the public domain, says Ronald Bateman. I will also talk to the Wolf about what's in public domain. He's a guy that knows all that. Rumple Trenchcoat says, Columbo did do an episode in England called Dagger of the Mind. Interestingly enough, there is a Star Trek episode called Dagger of the Mind. Hey, yeah, Toby, says McAvoy. Trevor Garner tipping us $1. Trevor, your show didn't start on time today. I've subscribed to you. It's supposed to start at 12:07. At 12:28, it had not started yet. What gives? Get it together. Get off the sauce. Please do a George Romero deep dive. Anytime. I love George Romero. Rico, 8:37 Eastern, says SG Fanboy. Well, sometimes that's when it happens. Hello, Wolf. Can I call? Yeah, call your brains out. I closed the phone lines about 5 minutes ago, but call all you want. Call till you're sick in the face. Rico spinoff. All right, kids, that's going to do it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of the NBC Mystery Movie. And I don't know what I'll do to it. George never copyrighted Night of the Living Dead. I am aware of that. But there's been this trend in movies that became popular that weren't copyrighted, that they will find the music or something else and claim copyright on that. For instance, It's a Wonderful Life. They didn't file the copyright on that, and that's why you saw it at Christmas every year, because it didn't cost the station anything to air it. Well, the heirs of the creator of the score, Dmitry Tiomkin, sued for the rights to the score, and therefore it was no longer public domain. Hi, Gully Twins, says Randy Ramos. Randy actually knows my sisters. Rumple Trenchcoat says, I was going to call, but was enjoying the show too much. Well, I'll have you on anytime you want to talk about that stuff, Rumpled. I'd love to have you on. Hey, we could also do a members-only show with Rumpled Trenchcoat. I don't care. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Joker. Lori Dancer says, thanks, Tom. Thanks you. No, thank me. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for being so awesome. Really, you're the best. Please like, share, subscribe, retweet, do all those free things so that we may serve the almighty algorithm. And if you want to donate and do all that other stuff, there's ways to do that too. They're all down there, whatever. Rumble Trenchcoat says, I'm totally game for that, Tom. Totally game for that. It would be great if we could do a watch party of a Columbo episode with Rumpled Trenchcoat. It would be so awesome. At any rate, I think it's about that time. McAvoy says, Tom, what nights are you live streaming? Monday through Friday, my man. Trevor, I'm not on the sauce. I'd believe you if it didn't take you 20 minutes to answer that question. And if you got your show up on time today. For the love of Mike. Hey, everybody. Only thing left to say, other than you are awesome. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, especially for sharing the show. I'm trying to spread the word. We've kind of stagnated in growing our number of subscribers, and that's kind of a free thing. People can just subscribe. So the more you share it, the more people see it, and the greater the likelihood somebody will say, I think I'm going to subscribe to that thing. Anyway, all that being said, till next time. Oh, hey, Shelby McGrovey, thank you so much. Very generous of you. I very much appreciate it. $5 Canadian. Good episode, Tom, today. And thanks for the help, Rumpled Trenchcoat. Yeah, everybody, please go support Rumpled Trenchcoat and his podcast. Go subscribe right now to that sucker. And with all that being said, till next time, we'll see you next time.